Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing whatever message wants to come through. It is Tears Day on the third day of the month of Juno. It's almost a waxing like half, isn't it? Hang on a second, let me just quickly look. Yeah, first quarter. It's first quarter. So that's exciting, but that doesn't matter because this reading is for whenever you find this video and for whoever this message is for. So this is the message that wants to come through today. So let's get the runes out. We have the Elder Futhark on Birch. So let's see, that one definitely wanted to come out. Ooh, okay. Can we see that? Can we see that clearly? Let's do this. Very cool. What wants to come through today? How are you doing? We didn't get any auroras here, and I'm mildly annoyed about this because I really want to see auroras in my lifetime. And this was such a good chance because not only did we have like major solar activity, but then we actually had clear nights 2 nights in a row, but nope, nothing. But at least I got to see the moon. Anyway, here's a message that wants to come through today for whoever this message is for and for whenever you find this message. So, central issue today, we have Othala, which is, well, it's Othala reversed. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. This has to do with solace and sanctuary and comfort. However, reversed, especially in the central issue spot, well, always. Whenever I see Othala reversed, I read it 3 ways immediately. First of all, letting go of things that no longer serve you. Second of all, stepping outside of your comfort zone. And third of all, finding a sense of home within. However, as the central issue, there's also the read of you may feel like you have been, I don't want to say ejected by your home, like a sense of home. You may feel like you've been sort of like whatever that, I'm trying to remember what is it, 5? Is it 5 of pentacles where they're just basically they've been dumped out on the street, or they're not dumped out on the street, but that they are not. I'm just quickly consulting my hang on a second. But yeah, it's that sense of of being displaced. You may have a sense of being displaced. Where is it? Oh, that's cups. I'm all the runes. 5 of Pentacles. I knew it. Okay. But anyway, yeah, it's just like a sense of being sort of unseated, but not unseated like a ruse reversed, more like unseated, like feeling like you don't have, you're feeling a bit exposed. You're a bit out of where you're comfortable. And so that's what your sort of focus is right now, is just this sense of like that you're not feeling that comfort that you would like to be feeling right now. Leading up to this, we have Algi's reversed. Algi's is the rune of the elk, otherwise known as the moose, and this has to do with protection and support. Based on the central issue, I'm wondering if, I mean, Algi's reversed generally refers to being able to stand up for yourself and to protect yourself and to support yourself, but I feel like with Othala reversed in the central issue spot, that Algi's reversed may be sort of like, yeah, you had to stand up for yourself and protect yourself because you didn't have a choice. Like, you've been put into a situation where it was like being thrown in the water and either you swim or you drown. And so, yeah, so it's this sense of what led up to this was just being put in a position where you have no choice but to support yourself. But you've been able to do it, at least. Like, you've got to this point, and now you're in a situation where you're sort of feeling like, you know, you don't have the comfort around you that you would like. And you know that just like when you got, you know, put in the situation where you had to support yourself, you know that you can basically use this as stepping outside of your comfort zone and letting go of things that don't serve you and sort of developing a sense of home within. But you're not going to be happy about it because this is like, I've just been through this. And it's just like, this is not a fun thing. So, I mean, you can put a positive spin on it all you want, but there's that sense of, which might even lead to like resentment about that. But I mean, just basically that sense of, you know, come on, yeah, I'm strong, but come on. Anyway, so anyway, here we are, the central issue situation, what's your focus at this point is just this sense of, yeah, I'm going to be okay, but it's like, I didn't choose this consciously. And so, I mean, whatever you may have the idea about, you can't really say it's like, oh, yes, you chose this, but you can say it like before you got here. But the fact is that when you're here, that's not fair to say because you're living it. It's like, Anyway, what is going to help you? We have Laguz. Laguz is the rune of the water. This has to do with emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. And is this focusing okay? I know my hand is relatively in focus, but I'm hoping the runes are as well. But anyway, so I'm going to read this several ways. First of all, really focus on, all of those things actually. So acknowledge your emotions, be aware of your emotions, surf them if you can, basically. They're going to be surging and it's going to be one of those things, but acknowledge them. Don't pretend you're not feeling what you're feeling. Second of all, intuition. This is a good time to lean on that. You want to be leaning on that intuition. You want to be basically saying, yeah, okay, we're going to have that going on. We're going to tap into that. Heart is a huge one. You are going to be letting your heart lead on this. Not in a way where it's like, the wants and things like that. It's not like saying, okay, my heart says I want a gigantic ice cream sundae when that will hurt your tummy. But in terms of just like listening to the heart as a source of intellect, because they have discovered brain components in the heart. And like, if you go back and look at ancient Egypt, they actually considered that heart was where the thinking took place. So in that sense, the heart is a source of great wisdom. So to tap into that's actually going to help you quite a lot. Like, seriously tap into it. Don't just say, this is what I want, so that's what my heart wants. Like, listen to it. It sounds corny, but definitely do that, because when you actually open up actual communications with heart, you won't believe, like, I sound like clickbait. You won't believe what you... But anyway, yeah, so basically emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. So in that, when this happened, you did what you had to do and you moved forward. It's the same sort of thing is going to help you with this. You're doing what you have to do. And by doing this, each one of the things that you do is going to be a step forward. And so this is the way that you flow forward with this. But definitely be honest with yourself about what you're feeling. Definitely connect with your intuition and heart, and make sure that you are just basically, because when you connect with heart and let your heart lead as far as just like the intellect of it, the intellect of heart, but you're in good standing. Basically, you're probably going to be moving more in a more genuine way forward and in a truer way forward to who you are. What isn't going to help? We have Vunyo reversed. Darn right you're not happy. We have this, I would be too. And so it's Vunyo is the rune of joy reversed in the lower line. It's just basically, it's if you focus on how unhappy you are about things and how discontented you are about things, that could drag you down, that could fill your entire field of vision, and that could just overwhelm you. You have to overwhelm that venom, basically, at this point. Yes, acknowledge it, yes, this is how I feel, but I'm also going to focus on other things, because if you focus on the unhappiness and the discontentment, especially if there's nothing you can do about it, that's not going to help you, and that's what the runes are saying here. So acknowledge that you're not feeling happy, but then start putting things into your day that you can give focus to, that are things that you enjoy and are things that make you feel happier and more comfortable and more contented, and control what you can. It's one of those things where sometimes you just have to sit down and think of things that aren't horrible and overwhelm the venom that is flowing through you by just pouring in this milk of joy. But anyway, as always, the upper line is the antidote to the lower line. So if you start to feel like that, bring yourself back up to, okay, yes, I acknowledge this. I'm going to let this flow because this is weather. Emotions are weather, and it will, just hang out and let it flow through. Also, I'm tapping into my intuition. That's exciting. And I'm listening to heart. I'm communicating with heart. And that's like really important. It's not reversed, but it's still there, letting your heart lead. And what this is ultimately going to lead you to is we have manas. Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it. And basically this is your note in the song. So you're going to basically, once you get through this, you're going to have a very much clearer picture of, hey, I'm really finding where I fit in the world as far as, the essential note that I sing in the grand song. And you may even find yourself surrounded by people who can meet you with joy, and by, situations that can meet you with joy, and where you're in this and like feeling a real sense of belonging where you didn't before. You just felt like dumped out on the sidewalk, and that's not fun. But through the process of this, you've learned about yourself, and you've let go of things that haven't served you, and you have found a sense of home that you can carry with you wherever you are. And then by the end of this, you're going to just feel like, I think I really know who I am more than I ever did before, and I feel like I'm finding a sense of belonging in the world and in the world of humanity. And hey, I'm looking around myself, and there's people around me I can face with joy now. So that's pretty cool. So that is the message that wanted to come through today. I wish all of you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.